EP4 Midwest Guys presents The Night's Watch, a Game of Thrones podcast.
Night gathers, and now my watch begins. I am the sword in the darkness. I am the watcher on the walls. I am the shield that guards the realm of men.
We watch, we listen, and we remember. The past is already written, the ink is dry.
I thought he was the man to lead us through the long night. And I was wrong.
I'll show them what Lannisters are. What we do to our enemies.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
I believe men of talent have a part to play in the war to come. I will never sit around.
You could help another climb those steps and take that seat.
I'm not going to stop the wheel. I'm going to break the wheel.
They have no idea what's going to happen.
The real war is between the living and the dead. And make no mistake, the dead are coming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to EP4 Midwest Guys presents The Night's Watch, a Game of Thrones podcast. Tonight we'll be reviewing Season 7, Episode 4, The Spoils of War. Here to help me do that, he's back from vacation, Mr. Brian Eckbauer.
Hello. Much like Arise is to Sansa, I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back home podcasting.
Woo! Yay. And as always, my brother Aaron.
Hey, man.
How's it going, dude?
Yeah, I'm alright, you?
Oh, I'm great. I love this episode. I just want to scream dragons and war and fire and and just never and go crazy I was when I watched the episode.
I mean, it was nuts. I mean, it was like, it felt like a Game of Thrones episode. It wasn't just like a, here's how we start the war. Here's this. No, this was like, battle stations.
I just wanted to hear that Wonder Woman theme in the background for a moment.
Kind of, yeah.
Just as the dragon comes out breathing fire.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the whole season, though, has just been on fire. I mean,
the entire thing's been really nice.
I tell you what, not to get ahead of ourselves, but that scene there, when he's they're all congratulating each other or whatever, and then all of a sudden he goes, do you hear that?
Yeah. The roaring of the
and it was like, ooh, I hear it too. What is that? It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely that Jurassic Park moment for the series, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah. We'll get into that and so much more, but as we always do, we go scene by scene, so it's going to kill us, but so let's just get started. We'll start with the beginning of the episode. I call it The Spoils of Highgarden. Basically, they're taking back the gold and the grain and everything in a wagon.
You kind of see the aftermath of last episode, essentially.
Pretty
kind
much.
of where you pick up on.
Yeah, and you really see the wealth that the House of Tyrell had. I mean, with that just huge...
Well, I mean, it's kind of hinted at it throughout the entire series, but really, you do see just an entire line of just spoils from from pillaging it.
And it's not just, like I said, not just the gold; it's the grain, it's all the the harvest and all this stuff. And
I think it might be towards the end of this episode where you see them talking about speeding up the farmers' harvest and making sure they bring stuff out more quicker pace.
In fact, that's where they send Bronn. He sends Bronn out after that at the very end of this episode or scene, I should say.
So clearly, the area Tyrell's actually controlled was actually a little larger than even what we see. So. Yeah.
And we get the real feel of the gold wagon when he goes in to get Sir Bronn his giant bag of gold, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have that kind of funny back and forth. It was like, hey, what about that castle? You promised me a castle. It's you got a giant bag of gold. It's like, yeah, that's nice, but I was promised a castle.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, Lannister always pays their debts, not me. So, I don't think Bronn's even after money anymore. He just wants the prestige that comes with it now, I think.
Kinda. He's like, all right, I'm going to have my own, main name and, house and family sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's Bronn trying to settle down in, luxury, essentially.
Yeah, I'm ready to be a lord and all that crap.
Yeah.
No longer wants to be the the knight and
the
hired hand.
I think if you go back an episode or two, you had a conversation about once people from the slums kind of taste power.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lion eating
Varys and Melisandre.
Yeah, it's like a lion chasing human flesh, sort of thing.
I did like his line to Jamie though. He's like, "Why so glum? One last pricking the balls from the Queen of Thorns."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something, Braun's, writing has always been pretty nice, and it's a good, kind of, comic relief.
But it shows you, though, that, it's a good thing coming off the last episode where, the Queen of Thorns dropped the mic on Jamie, literally mic drop, like you and I were talking about, Aaron, and with the whole, by the way, I killed your son, and,
because I wanted to see how fast it worked.
Yeah. So... that's showing that it's definitely having its effects on him.
Yeah, he's not just going to walk away like, well, screw it. He was dead anyway.
Now, Cersei, we might do that.
I don't know. I feel like Cersei still is, upset about her children's death, but it's just channeled into rage.
Yeah, she's not dealing with it at all. Speaking of Cersei, that brings us to the next scene. That's the Cersei and the Iron Bank again. Basically, it's he drops the line, you're more effective than your father. We're going to miss your interest payments, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, it's kind of it shows you, the Iron Bank obviously represents corporate greed and kind of, and that whole mantra.
Oh, yeah, we're going to make money off of you, and you're not even going to be able to pay your net down.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, it's one of those things you can give them more interest, and that's better for them. It's a credit card system or old school money laundering, and
And it's funny because as soon as he's like, well, once the gold shows up, of course, but we could help you with future endeavors. We could possibly.
What's that? You paid us back? How about we lend you some more money?
You're in a current war, which probably need financial backing.
Yeah.
And we'll be on your side as soon as the other money arrives.
Right. As soon as the otother gold gets here, we'll help you out. Absolutely, we'll help you out. I feel like it's when you're really good with your credit card, you keep things paid off and they up your credit limit.
Yeah. It's weird how that works.
You get that $20,000 limit all of a sudden, kind of feels like that. The other thing that she brings up in this, and I actually went back and researched this, she was talking how she sent her maester, I call him the Mad Maester, I can't remember his name now. The guy who created the zombie mountain. Anyway, he's been sent out to go to the Golden Company in Essos. Now, I looked it up online, did a little Google maestering, and came up that apparently they are a sellsword, so they're a bunch of mercenaries.
Yeah.
And according to Google, before the War of the Five Kings, there actually were 10,000 men strong.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so... And I think this is the same group that Stannis Baratheon might have used, even though I didn't find it in Google. Remember when he hired a bunch of mercenaries before he went north to the Wall?
He did hire mercenaries, but I don't think it was a particularly high number.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same company.
Is this like the clones of the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
What's that?
Is it like the clone of the Clone Wars? This is an army that's out there. We don't even know what it is.
We don't know.
But it's 10,000 strong. It's going to come beat your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. The council knew nothing about it. But yeah, so I don't know. So that was kind of a big thing, and I dug a little deeper, and it turns out, remember Dario from last season? Dany's love interest, the mercenary that she runs into? Apparently he was a part of the same group. This sellsword, this Golden Company.
Oh, I thought they were a separate group.
Well, he was, but originally he was part of this company.
Oh, okay.
So, with his... This brings up a couple interesting points.
So it's like a rival mercenary group?
Well, or it could just be...
sub-faction.
I'm just thinking, what if Dario goes back to them? And he ends up on working for Cersei. You got Dany on one side. You got him on the other. So that creates a love kind of thing. So does he end up helping Dany, or would he end up helping Cersei?
Turn on Cersei?
Or turn on Dany.
Seen Dario this season?
Not this season, no.
Oh, okay.
He got left back in Essos.
Oh, okay.
So what if he goes back to be a sellsword and all of a sudden shows up? I'm thinking that just might be an interesting plot twist that they might throw at us.
I mean, maybe, but honestly, there's so much else going on, I can't see them actually wanting to bring it up.
Oh, I do, because they went out of their way for her to leave him behind. Because that was her big thing. She's like, well, I'm going to be a queen, I'm going to have a political marriage, and sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know if that's necessarily something you want to bring up going forward. While like this season has been very good about kind of trying to wrap up the loose endings going forward and like bring everything together. I can't imagine them trying to like throw a plot twist at this point.
Maybe, but it wouldn't be hard to do if that ends up happening. You know, and it would be a good way to keep keep things turning and twisting. And
I mean, a little, but like, if he even did come back and he was like a rival mercenary thing, I don't think it would be like that big a plot twist where anyone would be completely freaked out. Just be like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I don't know. We'll see. I just thought it was like, ooh, because I read that, I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
The more I dug, the more I found. I was like, oh, okay. So they could use it. We'll see.
Okay. I don't know.
But speaking of from one twist to another, a guy who likes to twist things around, next scene is Littlefinger and Bran, and he gives Bran the dagger that was supposed to kill him way back in season 1.
Yeah.
He gives it to him, and he's basically doing what Littlefinger always tries to do, and that's, get
manipulate him.
Yeah, trying to get his favor out of the guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was never there to protect her children, and blah, blah, blah.
And it's just interesting watching it, because Bran's just like, oh, okay. Whatever, dude. I don't care.
Right, well, I think what was happening there is Littlefinger thought, like Sansa did, she was, because she was like, you're the eldest Stark now, so now you're in charge.
You're the Lord.
So he was thinking, Bran's going to be in charge.
Yeah.
Right.
And
definitely.
Bran said, no, I'm not. I'm not even going to be anything. It's still Jon Snow.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was cold and stoic like he's been since he's been back.
Yeah, he's been creepily stoic.
Yeah.
Or like just, like I think, like the scene like right after this, he actually talks about, there's an argument about how his personality didn't really survive kind of just being able to see everything.
Yeah, he has, with what's her name? God, I'm terrible. I really got to start putting these names in these notes. But yeah, with the girl that helped him all the whole way.
Yeah.
Who was
the one who's like,
the daughter of Ned
so-and-so died for you. So-and-so died for you. My brother died for you.
Who died for you?
He's just like, thank you.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
And he's like, thank you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't really need you anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude, come on.
And then she says, you died in a cave.
Yeah. And also in this scene, I forgot to put in the notes the whole chaos line.
What, chaos is a ladder sort of thing?
It's a ladder, which is the same line that I think Littlefinger used way back, I think in season 1 with Catelyn and Ned. So, again, he's showing...
Oh, really? Is that actually a reference?
Yeah, because...
Oh, I didn't pick up on that at all.
Littlefinger's face, he was
like, what?
Oh, yeah, you see him being like, what the fuck happened?
He goes, oh, shit, how does he know that?
And you never see him get startled.
Yeah.
I mean, and even he's like, what did you say?
I definitely noticed him getting startled. I just didn't realize that was actually a reference to like an earlier bit.
Yes. So, yeah, definitely.
That is kind of funny.
So he's proving his power to even...
Well, yeah, but that's kind of what we've seen Bran do this entire season is like, don't get me wrong, in some cases a bit more creepily than others. Yeah. Like, don't talk about your sister's like wedding night where she gets raped. It's weird.
I know.
Not as
that was really
he was like, I saw you there with the snow coming down in your white dress. And
you were so beautiful. Yeah. What the fuck?
Like in this case, like it's done well and it's kind of cool. And later on when he does it with Arya, it's kind of cool.
And I like that one.
Yeah.
When he was talking about she's on her list. And then Sansa looks at it and she's like, you weren't joking about your list.
Yeah. It's like, you have a list?
Yeah.
It was so...
But like in this case, like that's, I think the best use of it is actually in the scene where you actually see Littlefinger, the dude who's almost never startled by anything, being like,
no,
the fuck just happened?
No, it was like, and he didn't have time to reply or anything because she comes in through the door and that's the end of it.
Because like you have Littlefinger, like the dude who's like fights 1,000 fights in his head, and all of a sudden be like, what sorcery is this shit?
Yeah, because it was a complete curveball to it.
Yeah.
You know? So, speaking of Arya, Arya finally returns to Winterfell.
And told, fuck off. Get the fuck off.
Get the fuck off. Who the fuck are you?
We don't have time. Get the fuck off.
Who the fuck are you?
It's a fun comedic scene, right?
It was pretty funny, yeah. It
like, especially when they actually do let her in, they're like, all right, you wait here.
Like, you go tell her. No, you go tell her. You go tell her. Well, I'm watching her. Where is she?
It was a little reminiscent of like Monty Python to me.
Yeah, a little,
reason.
right?
Yeah, it was like a comedy scene.
Yeah.
She's dead. What do you mean she's dead?
Yeah.
It was just like, okay. But yeah, I liked how I even liked the opening scene though. She was kind of rides up on her horse and she sees Winterfell in the background. It's kind of, stoic and whatever. But yeah, it was pretty funny with the guards. It was a really good scene. Even better though was the next scene with her sister, and I thought, man, the tomb and in front of the crypt of Ned.
Do I have to call you Lady Stark now?
Yeah.
She says yes, and then starts laughing.
Yeah, she goes, well, it suits you too, kind of saying, you come into your own. Although Sansa has no idea who the hell she is and what she's become. She still thinks she's that lost little girl that just happened to stumble her way through the world.
There's a small joke I've seen on the internet about like this episode where like all the other Starks kind of come back to Winterfell with some version of a superpower. Like Jon comes back from the dead, Bronn's the three-eyed raven. She's like can put on people's faces as a super assassin, and she's like, I just went through a lot of traumatic events.
Well, really, she's now like the political part, though.
Yeah.
She's come back as she's even, I think it's later in this episode we talk about, or no, it was two episodes ago, or even last episode, she said, I learned a lot from Cersei.
Yeah.
So she's got that whole, she's the Cersei of the North, kind of, hopefully a lot better, but, get the idea.
I know, it's kind of amusing. All the other ones get into like the sort of like warrior sort of thing, except for Bronn, who's just a psychic.
Yeah. And getting back to your point, Brian, in the scene, this is where they go, you have a list to kill people? She just starts laughing. And
she's like, yes. And she's like,
yeah.
She's like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I think Arya, like, it does really good at just like kind of just like playing things off when people don't take her seriously. And it really works to the character's benefit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's some great lines in there, too, about their story. And, like, there's nobody left alive to remember Dad's face.
We're not dead.
We're not dead. Our story continues. I thought that was really
good. Oh, yeah. It's a really good line.
Yeah.
Like, this episode is full of really good lines.
It's like every line in this episode this season counts for something. And that's why it's so hard for me to sit there and write the notes, because I can't really...
at some point
you're broad with it, but at some point you have to.
If you get too detailed, at some point you're just like... You're just reading the script.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what you're doing, and it's kind of like, okay. But it's like every word counts, every line counts.
Though I find it funny at the end of the scene. Sansa has that moment like, "Oh, Bronn's back," but it's like a really weird like. He's not really the same.
She's like, so Bronn's back. She's like, oh, good. And you're like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, he's not creepy at all. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You're going to find out. Don't worry. Just a few minutes.
Bronn! Hello, Clarice.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Clarice. Are the lambs still crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's like, oh, you made it home. That's basically all he says to her in the next scene.
It's like, and then, like, she hugs him like a big hug, and he just has the little pat.
Yeah, that's nice.
I guess I should acknowledge her existence somewhere.
And then he has the dagger, and she's, why do you have that? Littlefinger gave it to me. He wants something, so I'm not going to give him anything.
Yeah.
Here's the dagger, but it's Valyrian steel. Okay, but it's wasted on a cripple. Here's the dagger. It's like,
yeah.
Wow, dude, that's
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he has a point. He's like, look at this. What am I going to do?
And from an actor standpoint, he's got it easy right now. He just acting like a robot. Dude.
Yeah, he just acts like a robot.
What's my line? Okay.
Yeah, what's my line? Yeah. Wow, roses. That's perfect. Look at that tree. It's so beautiful.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Has to speak cryptically. But he does reveal his powers very quickly to her. And he goes, I thought you were going to Winterfell. And she's like, what? What do you mean?
Oh, no, King's Landing.
Or King's Landing, yeah. I'm sorry. So, yeah, why? So right away she's like, well, how'd you know that?
Yeah, and she's like, well, I was, but I came here. Like, yes, I know. Like, what?
It is pretty cool, though, that she gets the dagger, which is fitting.
Well, I mean, you essentially give the assassin the, like, ultimate dagger for, like, killing things
precisely.
In the show.
And it is Valyrian steel, which might come in handy later against some White Walkers.
Yeah, she has to kill some White Walkers and just go on an assassin rampage against them.
You can see her doing some dagger work there, So.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially since you see her, like, fight, like, Brienne, like, later on in the episode, and does very well. Not to give too much away yet.
Now, wouldn't it be cool if she could somehow, take a White Walker's face and put it on and pretend she's a white... I don't know. Anyway, that would be...
She just becomes the Night King.
The Night King.
She is the Night King! Yeah. I did, like, talk about that Brienne part where she... Who taught you that? She's like, no one.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the next scene.
Oh, is that the next scene?
It's the next scene. We get Arya... no, actually, it's Arya, Sansa, and Bran, and we just talked about that, but we'll get to that scene, Brian. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little off on my notes here. I'm so caught up in the conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so But we do see Arya. We do see Brienne in that scene with that when they're pushing him in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And whatchamacallit goes there and goes, "Well, Catelyn would be proud you kept your vow."
Yeah.
You know, and then she actually has to take a compliment as a lady.
Yeah.
She takes it.
Well,
not willingly, but
she's
takes it.
like, "I'm not a." Thank you.
Just kind of like, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
Well, maybe she's accepting that maybe she might be someday because, you know, she's kept her vow and maybe she'll be rewarded, you know. Who knows?
I mean, she already comes from a noble house anyway, though.
Right. Real quick scene with Dany and Melisandre on the steps there, or Melisandre, I should say. Grey Worm better come back.
Yeah, you just had that kind of fun of like, what happened between you two? Just a little, like, nudge and wink sort of thing. Just like...
Lots of things happen.
Yeah.
She's like, well, what? You know, it's like the queen wants to gossip.
Yeah. Lots of things like, what? She just a big smile on her face.
Yeah. Queen wants the scoop. And that's pretty much the end of that scene. But that moves on to the Dany and Jon in the romantic cave of Dragonglass.
Yeah. We're going to pretend it wasn't just like he just wrote on the walls himself with chalk or crayon.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so they takes them into this cave, and they find this huge thing of Dragonglass, obviously, and it is pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
And then he takes them even further, and that's where they find these drawings of the forest children.
Which is really funny, because, like, he's like, the forest children, blah, 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 and they were here with man, and blah, blah, blah. And you look at the drawings.
They fought our common enemy.
Right, and they look real primitive drawings, right?
Right.
And they fought against a common enemy, and they pan over to the other drawings that look like they're like illustrations, like of the White Walker. It's like those were stick people, and all of a sudden we have like 3-dimensional figures over here draw the wall.
Yeah.
Apparently, John took an art class somewhere along the line.
That he got really better.
Chisel. He's chiseling in some White Walkers.
But it was really cool. Like, I think would have been awesome is if they would have had like the logos of the different houses on the wall, or something that was like from back
from the First Men.
Yes, and they had like the different like logo, and then they both could have been like. They would have recognized that if they all were together.
Their houses or something.
And here I thought you were going to recommend they, had like a hot bath sort of thing in the cave.
Well, actually, it looked to me like it was the what do they call it? The forest children.
Yeah. The children of the forest.
Children of the forest.
Yeah.
It looked like they were standing in front of the 5 kings. Because it was 5 people, wasn't it?
I'd have to go back and look again, but I think it was just like showing them unity fighting, but it could have been 5 different.
I think it was because the 5 kings were the ones that fought, right?
Well, that was just a battle of 5 different kings claiming the throne, but it could be. It would be nice if we knew what the symbol of the First Men was, and maybe have that in there or something, because they had to have some sort of banner. I would think. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they were just all tribes.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you look at the wildlings, they didn't necessarily have a banner.
Yeah, but again, it does show that they fought a common enemy. Hey, look, it's the White Walkers, and that goes into the whole sexual tension building. And Dany's like, "I'll fight for the North, but only if you bend the knee, fucker."
She's like
a little S&M moment there, almost like, okay.
Well, just one of those things like, no, I'm in charge. Don't think just because I want to help you that doesn't mean you don't have to actually work for me as well.
It's like she gets her hopes up. She's like, I will fight for the North, John. Oh, really? You will? If you bend the knee.
Well, there's also that kind of moment of like, don't be too proud about it. That sort of stuff.
You know what's going to happen, right? He's going to bend the knee, but it's going to be for a proposal of marriage.
Yeah.
So that way the houses will become united.
He's the king. She's the queen.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought. Other than it's incest again, but yeah.
The show's fine with that. The show has no qualms.
I know.
But they're not like brother and sister, at least not like Cersei and.
There's at least a generation removed. Well, not removed, but
what is it, like a cousin or nephew or something?
It's an aunt and a nephew.
It's an aunt and a nephew. Yeah. But John explains to her, the North will never accept you as their leader. They've been through too much. And she's like, well, they will if their king does.
Yeah.
Setting up your proposal. That's a good... So
that's exactly what's going to happen, because he's going to say that way he never bowed down to her. She never bowed down to him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a combined force.
It's a mutual thing.
Yeah.
A political marriage.
Yeah.
Next scene, they come out of the cave, and I like to call this just war playing on the beach. Basically, Danny finds out about her losses from last episode.
Yeah.
That the Sully are stranded with no food, and the Unsullied are stranded, no food at Casterly Rock, and that she's lost the House of Tyrell, and she's basically losing.
Yeah, she lost all her allies.
Yeah. And that she goes right after, and Tyrion's like, well, it's still a good plan. Let's stick to the plan. She's like, yeah, your plan lost us three lands and 3 kingdoms.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm beginning to think that he goes, our plan against our enemy. She goes, you mean your family?
Yeah.
It's like, and I don't think you really want to hurt them.
Precisely, yeah. And it was like, ooh. Tyrion's starting to lose a little bit of luster on the...
Yeah. The plans are not going out well, so the plan maker's not looking well.
But, yeah, and honestly, because of his ties to his family, being a Lannister.
Yeah, even at the end of the episode, like in the main battle scene, you do see him, like, kind of not hoping for his own family.
Well, yeah, he's rooting for Jaime. He's, because they've always had that connection. And he's like, run away.
Yeah, when we get there later.
Run away.
Hold that for later, Brian. Hold it for later. I know, I want to talk about it too.
Now, what I did like in this scene with the war on the beach, the war plans on the beach, was that she's like puts her hand up basically, and she says, "Shut up, John. What would you do?"
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
John,
what would you do?
Right, you want to be my ally? What's your fucking advice?
Yeah, basically, which is kind of cool, really, that she's starting to put her that much trust in him, which is weird.
And and he's like, well, nobody thought there'd be dragons, and you helped make a miracle, so people believe in what you can do. And
you're doing
at the
impossible.
same time, if you burn down the cities and land, you're no better than she is.
So,
like, it
probably go
valid point.
Yeah,
but the way she does it, she doesn't really.
No, she just attacks the army on the open plains.
She picked a military target.
Yes,
and it makes me wonder though if they didn't show the whole scene, because I could see John totally telling her, well, yeah, go attack the military. I would rather have seen John say that.
Well, not just that, but like
don't attack the people.
Go attack the military.
Attack the military.
But not only is she attacking the military, she's attacking the military that is
convoy.
A convoy that
supplies
the main thing. So if you actually want to have like King's Landing in lockdown without supplies coming in, cutting off supply lines makes a lot of sense.
Makes a ton of sense. So yeah. So again, I would have liked to have probably seen John say that to her, but it was still really cool, just see that happen. Next is finally, here's where Brienne versus Arya comes in, and I really like this scene. This is kind of Arya kind of showing what she's made of and where she's come and how far she's come. Basically Arya's like, I want to train with you, and basically just get almost best Brienne.
Well, that's what
pretty much.
She's like, I want to train with you. It's almost like I just want to see what you can do.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because she's way better than Brienne was.
Yeah. Well, it's that, and she had that moment like, I'm a little rusty, and you actually were able to beat the Hound. You're probably the most skilled swordsman here.
So
you'll do.
And to be honest, at the very end of this scene, they at least come out as equals. If not Arya being better, except Brian.
Well, you see Brienne winning just on sheer strength.
Like she kicks her,
and
pushes her out of the way. But even then, she's able to dodge her and everything and come up with a dagger.
Yeah, and you also have that little like breakdance move back onto her feet thing.
Yeah, it was a very it was a very Star Wars type moment.
Yes, I thought the same thing.
It was a very Star.
It was like Darth Vader swinging his lightsaber.
Yes.
To me, it actually reminds me more of the first season.
Yeah, it was like a with the whole like, I'm not going to fight back. I'm only going to. It's like just barely moving the hand and the sword,
right?
And then steps out of the way with the sword behind her back. Steps out of the way.
Yeah,
it was like, oh my god, this is so like Star Wars. Like,
yeah, she's like
the anger. The anger is not going to win you the thing. It's the calm and collected that's going to win you.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh.
You know what it reminds me of though is actually the first season of this. Like, you actually have her original sword teacher. Like, his style was actually very similar to that.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah, very much so. He was. I mean, he took on 4 knights with a wooden sword. And bested most of them before it. Taking it. But so it was really cool to see this kind of back and forth, and it was equally as unnerving to watch Littlefinger taking notes along with Sansa.
Yeah.
You know, it was like Sansa's finally getting to see what her sister can do and starting to figure it out pretty quick. How
and
much
you also see
badass
Littlefinger watching and be like, fuck.
Well, he's not only going fuck, but he's going, you can almost see him
like plotting.
Yeah, like twisting the, you know.
He was plotting. Now, one thing I did see online today, people are saying that during that scene with Brienne, I don't know if you guys saw it on Facebook or not. I don't know if you guys follow the same stuff I do or not. They were talking that in the background of that scene, walking through the opening, the doorway there, you can actually see the lady in the green dress, which is their mother.
Oh, Catelyn?
And so they said that the person that they wrote out of this thing from the books was Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah.
And they said that maybe she's not wrote out of the book because we might have like a ghost in this, because clearly you can see something with green go right across the screen.
Really?
I didn't even notice.
That's interesting. That would be awesome. Because I remember a couple seasons ago, it was the useless Stark who just got Rickon. Who I remember him saying, "I see Dad down in the crypt." So Ned's ghost is apparently floating around there
right.
too.
So it was, and they had there was. I'll see if I can find that article and send it to you guys. But they had it circled, and they said at the one in the clip at the 1:14 mark in that clip, you can actually see.
See her. I'll have to go back and slow it down. And
it was pretty neat. I mean, it's like I as you're watching, you don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. Who watches for that?
Right. It could just be an extra, but still, that's interesting. I would love for her to be in this, because when I first heard about the Lady Stoneheart and being Catelyn brought back to life,
it's a very cool thing. But they've really had Arya take on a lot of that role.
In the book. Yeah. Well, because I think Lady Stoneheart kills the phrase.
Yeah, and this
obviously
when you have Arya instead.
But still, it'd be nice to tie her in a little bit somehow, or have that Obi-Wan Kenobi moment. Ben, why didn't you tell me? All right, so moving on. Oh, yeah, and then obviously the end of the scene, and we already talked about this a little bit. Who taught you that? No one.
Yeah. It was a very cool
no
scene.
one taught that, It's obviously her.
Pause real quick.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, so next scene is John, Davos, and Missandei. Basically just kind of having a conversation, I guess, at Dragon...
Yeah, just talking about her homeland and why she serves Daenerys. And
right, it's kind of a cool scene. I mean, I like even how it starts out. Even Davos is like, I see how you look at her heart, and I mean...
yeah. Now, let's see someone else with a beautiful heart.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And
well, I mean, I think it's also what Tyrion said. Talk to the people that serve her.
Right, that's true.
So that's what he was doing. Like, I'm going to talk and say, and he goes like, so you can walk away at any time, and she doesn't care. Yes, she would give me a boat and wish me good luck.
Let me goodbye. Yeah,
and it's like, and he's like, and then you see him starting to warm up to her, like she's warming up to John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And seeing that they are like Tyrion is right. They're both the same person basically.
Just two sides of the same coin. Yeah. It's the whole scene's really cool, even down to there's no marriage in Narth.
Yeah. So, it adds a humorous little element.
Yeah.
And I think this season's actually been really good about that. Like, as fast paced as this has been, you have had like sign of low moments that were humorous that kind of off put like the heavy action scenes,
or even the heavier dialogue. Like this scene's kind of attesting.
But this goes to the whole thing where John's always thought of himself as the bastard. Always about I'm the bastard, blah blah blah, and this and that. And she's like,
"What's a bastard?
What's a bastard?" Because that's new to because there is no marriage in North.
Yeah.
And then she goes on and she's like, when I fight for I would like die for my queen. I believe in her, and blah blah blah. And then Davos says, "Would you hate me if I switch sides?
Would you mind if I switch sides?" Which is great. Good humor to the ending of the scene, even.
Well, I feel like they write Davos really well in this as well. Like, he's been very humorous, very down to earth. I'm like, oh, she sounds wonderful. Who wouldn't want to join her after that praise?
He was very humorous when they introduce each other, and whatchamacallit, Missandei or whatever goes, the breaker of chains, the blah blah blah, and she goes on like his big old tyrant, he's like, this is Jon Snow,
King of the North.
That is it. And John looks over and he goes, took a hot stab in a hot river. It was funny. Like, really, that's all I get.
to me, Dalvis is like he's you. He's the most down there. He's the most, I don't know. You can relate to him.
A very common man character.
Very common man.
Very sensible and just down to earth.
I think he even says that. I think last scene with what we're talking where he's doing. Forgive me, I may have a whatchamacallit accent, like a Cockney accent is what he's saying. Lowbrow accent. But
and you also have him, like, I think it was last episode as well, as we're, like, talking about the semantics of it. What do we call you? King John?
Yeah.
You gotta find a good title.
Yeah. What did he call him first, though? He called King John. What was the other one?
Snow.
Something
King
Snow. Bastard Snow. Or something.
Yeah, it was funny.
King John King. But yeah, he's written very well. I enjoy the character. Next scene is a very brief scene, but it's a good scene. It's John and Theo are reunited for the first time since the beginning since they all broke up and stuff.
There's a very awkward tension sort of thing.
He just stands there like he's seen a ghost.
Like, he's like, shit.
Yeah, he's like,
I wasn't expecting you here.
Hi, John.
I thought you were in the north.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
I didn't know you'd be here.
Yeah. How's Sansa? And that's when he grabs him. He's like, if it wasn't for Sansa, I would kill you myself.
Yeah, it's what you haven't done for Sansa.
Yeah.
I kill you myself.
And then obviously he's like, well, I'm going to help ask the queen to get my sister back. John's like, yeah, the queen's gone.
Which is badass.
Yeah, and she's
it hints at the great battle scene to come.
Yeah, because he's like, where'd she go?
Yeah.
And cut away.
Cut away.
Right to it.
It's like, ooh.
Okay, boys, here we are. We're finally here. The Battle of the Loot Train, as it apparently is officially called, or so I'm thinking it's called, or hope it's called.
If not, you just like calling it the Loot Train.
I like calling it the Battle of the Loot Train.
We have coined it, the Loot Train.
The Battle of the Loot Train.
Hold on, it's a good pun.
Yeah.
There you go. But so it starts out, and you see this. They still have this very long procession, and obviously, Braun's done his job in getting the harvest from all the farmers and stuff, because there's a big long. It's mostly wheat, and they're quick to point out right from the start that all the gold has made it to King's Landing. But they still have to get all this other stuff. So, which is unfortunate, because now she has the gold to get back to the Iron Bank. And, support her war going forward.
Less, food supplies than she wanted, so it's still a plus in some ways, but
So, but it's kind of a
it's not a 100% victory.
It's not 100% victory, but at least she gets something out of it.
Yeah, it's a good start.
And then there's a little bit of humor, even though right before Sir Dickon.
Now, I got a question.
Your name's Dickon.
Is his last name Longley?
No, it's Tully.
Those are the Tullys?
That's the Tullys.
Yeah, he's a Tully.
That's Sam's brother. Dickon is Sam's brother.
Oh, okay. Well, who is the older guy?
That's Sam's father.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, remember when they went to...
Yeah, I remember.
I
don't remember Dick in previous scenes, though. Was he there?
I don't remember that.
He sat at the table.
Was he sitting at the table, or did he say he was out hunting?
I think he was out hunting, and it was his other brother at the table.
Yes, he was out hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of made fun of him for not.
Yeah. It was like the good son.
That's what it is. Because at first I didn't reckon. I was like, I recognize him. Where the hell did I recognize him from? Because I've been watching these, trying to catch up with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So with Braun snickering, your name's Dickon.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how'd you like the battle? Well, it was glorious. It was great. It was your dad's not here. Yeah, those were people I hunted with. They were my friends, and I killed them.
Yeah.
And the smell.
Yeah,
the smell.
And he's like, well, men shit themselves when they die.
They'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's like, what? I learned that when I was 5.
Yeah.
So a little bit of humor before the big battle, and just as they're getting the conversation's coming to an end, and they're like starting to ride towards King's Landing, all of a sudden Braun's like, you start hearing this really, really light muffle rumble, and Braun's like, wait, you hear that? Then
Jamie turns his head to listen.
Yep.
And I didn't think it was horses. I actually thought it was like
war drums or something.
No, I thought
the dragon just itself.
I thought it was just the dragon itself.
Yeah, I actually thought that.
And that's you were all of a sudden going to see it come out of the clouds.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see all the white and everything on the just on the horizon. I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
And the
It
Dothraki
actually kind of surprised me. I actually wasn't expecting like the entire army to move out.
Yeah.
And you get the whole horde, this giant horde of the Dothraki, which without the dragon is impressive all by itself.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I mean, these guys in battle.
It's kind of like if you had like a fantasy version of the Mongols attacking the Roman army.
Kind of, yeah. That's exactly what it is. And I loved but they're skilled too, because did you see the scene where they stood up on the horses to shoot the arrows?
Yeah.
That was fucking badass.
No, but like if you look at the Mongolian like empire, like they were super skilled at archery and horseback riding. Like it really is a dead-on like comparison.
Well,
and then you have the Roman army, or like the actual
With the
Lannister army,
shields,
doing the Roman
doing
tactics.
the Legion.
Yeah, and like it wasn't right at the beginning of this. It was more towards the end of the battle and everything.
Yeah.
But the one Dothraki is saying to Tyrion is like, "Your people can't fight.
Like they don't fight very well." Yeah, kind of demeaning him really the whole time. But and so you see this whole horde coming in, and then I'm like, "Where's the dragon? Where's the dragon?" And then sure as shit, right at the end, and they're getting prepared for this Dothraki horde. Braun's like, get the fuck out of here.
Jamie's like, "No, well, we got this.
We got this."
And all of a sudden, dragon.
Yeah,
and he's like,
he said the magic word. Red flags.
Yeah, and they're just got the look on Jamie's face and Braun's face, like we're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Completely and totally fucked. Just as
now, and it was badass when the dragon came in and just blew that line straight through, and it's like,
and then you see the Dothraki actually
riding
just
through the fire on their horses. It was like the apocalypse.
Oh yeah,
horsemen of the apocalypse.
That's something that's really fun because you go back to the Battle of the Bastards, and it's a really hell-like, grimish sort of like war scene.
Yeah,
but this is too, just in a different way.
Yeah, with dragon fire.
Yeah,
and the dragon fire. It was really weird because the dragon fire was catching some people on fire, but it completely turned other people to like ash.
Instant.
Depending on like where it was.
So if you're a ground zero, you're done.
It's just interesting because like every war scene we have is like a different depiction of hell in the series, like going. Yeah, like for the last season or two, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, you had like the whole thing with the Battle of the Bastards was like a suffocation feeling.
Yeah,
and this
you had like people dragging you down and like but this really was just like hellfire.
Yeah, very much so. That's a really good comparison there, and good point. But yeah, it was just like I said, the Dothraki just by themselves to me was impressive. But then you put the fucking dragon in there.
Oh yeah,
just shooting fire. Oh my god, it was just. Yeah, I mean, it was a.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what you wanted.
It was
like pretty much since like season 2 or 3, you're like, let's see some fucking dragons kill some shit and like be fucking badass. And you're like, you got it. You saw dragons being fucking badass. Well, a dragon. You saw dragon being badass.
So that's what I didn't understand. I was like, why didn't the other 2 dragons come?
Maybe that was Tyrion or something saying, "Don't commit them all." To
I guess that could be it. Or
she has a favorite. She's a favorite dragon.
The other thing I was thinking
Drago is the strongest.
Well, the other thing I was thinking is maybe that she couldn't
control the
other 2.
Yeah, like so just riding one allowed her to be more.
So they needed the riders for the other ones because they've been talking for the longest time that Jon's gonna be one of them because he's,
and Tyrion's gonna be the other.
Yeah, and they're actually gonna ride all 3 at the same time.
Right. Which is going to be badass if it happens.
Yeah, because not to jump ahead, but in the preview for the next episode, you see Jon right in front of Drago. Or Dracos?
Draco, yeah.
And he's right in front of him, and they said that the dragon can sense that he's a Targaryen or whatever.
Yeah, that's why Tyrion survived, too, with the dragons, I think, because he's part.
Because they're gonna know that he is, and then she's going to realize.
Yeah. Very much so. It was this whole battle though was like if you were ever a kid and you ever played with a toy dragon and this was just like what you would.
It's what you want. Kid. You wanted to like just burn the armies and everything.
Burn the fuckers alive, and she not only does she burn like through them, and she comes back and she starts burning the wagon train behind them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was funny because it wasn't like it was like she just. Burn. It was you could see
targeted.
It was targeted. It was like burn,
precision.
Breathe in, she missed 2, and then breathe again, fire. More of them. I was like, they really thought that out because if they hadn't, they could probably just done it in one thing and just looked like a fire come out and did the whole thing. But you can see it was fire, and then you could see the dragon breathe in and missed 2, and then did it again. I was like. They really planned that out.
Well, they're showing that it's a living, breathing creature. They're trying to make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
If dragons were real,
And then that same one that I was talking about that pointed out about the Lady Stoneheart, Lady Stoneheart, pointed out that Dracos gets hit in the shoulder,
right,
with the spear, and then her former lover, protector, before the dragons came, was Dragon.
Oh, well, right? You're talking about the leader of the Dothraki.
Yes, Dothrali, or sort of the D. That's what they said.
It's similar to Draco's. That's
okay. So
what
anyway,
are you talking about? Her former husband?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Drogo.
Drogo. Yeah.
Drogo.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were saying because Drogo got hit in the shoulder.
Okay.
And then when he died is when these dragons came,
Yeah.
and they're saying there might be a correlation between the two main dragons, between him and being reincarnated as this big dragon, as her protector.
Okay.
That's an interesting thought.
That's kind of deep. Yeah.
I thought it was, and I was like,
oh, who are the other two dragons?
Brothers. She named them after brothers. Is that right?
Yeah, Rhaegar, and I can't remember the other one.
Oh, okay.
I'm learning a lot about Rhaegar here lately.
She named them after her two lost brothers.
Okay, so that's the reincarnation of those brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, it is actually.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just wow. This was classic Game of Thrones on a whole new level. Like
I mean, like
fire.
Usually, this is something you see like mid-season finale or like end of season. Like the climax for the season is this what this episode would be.
Yeah, like a mid-season finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even liked later, they call for the archers, right?
Yeah.
They line up the archers and they throw, and those bounce right off his dragon skin.
Well, not just that, but like you actually just see it like breathing fire into it and just like doing nothing.
Did absolutely nothing to him.
Now, what I thought was interesting, I mean, we went from, was that 2 episodes ago when they thought up this weapon for the dragon?
The giant.
Yeah. Well, they said
I love how they actually named it this episode. It's a cool name.
It is a great name.
Like at first, they just came up with it 2 episodes ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting that they actually brought it with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
like apparently now it's being mass deployed to wherever they send their main army.
Well, I didn't understand it because I was like, why would that? Because it seemed like, I guess they mass produce it now.
Well, they're trying to. All the maesters in all of King's Landing are working on them.
Oh, because I was like, that didn't make any sense. Like, why would that not be where the queen is to protect the queen? Why
I was just amazed by how quickly they could reload it. To be honest,
yeah,
because it's pretty much just Bronn reloading it by himself.
Well, it's
and he uses the first arrow just to kill the one Dothraki.
That was hilarious, right?
That was hilarious when he nailed the
when you see him just get into the little caravan and just all of a sudden.
That whole scene where Bronn going through burning men and Dothraki just to get to the Scorpion.
Oh, yeah. Well, not just that, but
badass.
You see him drop his gold, look at it, be like,
I thought he was done right there because I thought he's always been about the gold.
Yeah,
and I thought he was going to die.
Yeah,
I really did. I thought, yep, he's going to go for the gold. Dragon's going to get him, or some Dothraki.
Yeah, but you actually don't see him go for it.
No, which is interesting about his character. It shows there's a little bit something more to Bronn of the Blackwater than we thought.
Yeah.
That there had been. But yeah, that whole scene, though, I was really impressed. And I love how it was almost, what was I thinking? It took me back to The Rock, where he throws the missile at the guy. It was the same kind of thing. Yeah. You're the Rocket Man. And he's like...
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. That whole scene was great.
Yeah, I really liked it. Although it reminded me a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Really? Why?
With the dragon and the whole shooting of the dragon and the
Oh, okay. The big thing where I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird. I actually didn't draw that comparison at all until this moment.
Until I just said that.
Yeah, I can kind of see it, but
when I was watching it, I was like,
so much different though.
It was the fight scene was way different. But I mean, I guess that's the only way to fight a dragon. But it was just like you're watching, and you're like, okay, well they're gonna shoot it. Why? Shouldn't they have knocked a scale off first so that he had an open spot to hit? You know what I mean? Like
Dragonheart style.
It's like.
Well, one of the things that's interesting is they also, if they wanted to, could just cast a large net sort of thing.
If you had 2 of them, and
or a bolo sort of thing.
Yeah. I would have thought so, but he can breathe fire.
But it's interesting because you would think
and then he blows a shot.
When you first see it, the scorpion unleashed and aiming at the dragon, you're like, oh, that dragon's going down. But no, there's actually evasion and the dragon's maneuvering around it. Like, it was really cool. It was well done.
And what was really weird was like thinking about the way wagons were made and everything else, all of a sudden this thing can fucking rotate on a fucking wagon like it's nobody's business. And he just, like, aims it. Like, how's he turning?
Well, it's...
Because there was no thing for him to twist and turn. And he's like, where are you at? Where are you at? I'm like...
there has to be something.
What kind of controls you got there, man, to make that vehicle turn like that?
Well, it could be actually like what is the like a Lazy Susan sort of base?
Yeah, but how is he making it turn?
It's kind of
he's standing behind the gun.
Well, let's be honest though, because we've seen Old City or Old Town now, right? That the Game of Thrones isn't really it's medieval weaponry up till the point you see the Scorpion anyway. But really, they're pretty advanced. So they have advanced
once
knowledge
you see like the maesters and stuff
and stuff like that. So to see this Scorpion is almost which is like Leonardo da Vinci kind of
like the weapon made sense.
Yeah,
but it was just the whole fact that he basically could turn it with his head.
Oh, with his head, you don't see him struggling.
Yeah,
okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, like I would have thought that he at least would have been like having to pull on something to get
I
it to
just
turn.
assumed he was walking. Like, I assumed, like, it's just...
So, like, the gun itself is on a pole and he's just walking behind it?
Or if he had maybe, like, something...
That could be.
Or they probably might have made sense that they had put, like, shoulder straps on him or something, like, World War II gun or something. But,
yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. If it was just on a pole and it could rotate, that would make sense.
But
I was thinking it was more like... It was on a base because of how powerful it was that it would probably snap whatever pole
I just assumed it's actually, like, bolted to the cart in
I
some
was
way.
surprised that Dany didn't back off her attack after he missed her the first time. Because it went flying by her, and even she's like, what the fuck was that? You know, when he missed the first time.
Well, I think in her head, she was like, oh, well, that seems dangerous. Let's burn it down.
I guess.
And she did.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, he burned the shit out of it, and then landed next to it and smacked the rest of it with his tail and went right through it. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I kind of love that scene because the dragon just looks at it like, fucker.
I know.
Bam.
And honestly...
That fucking hurt. I couldn't stepped on a Lego. As a kid, when you step on a Lego and you're like, oh, my foot! Damn it!
And I was surprised Bronn was able to jump away in time.
Oh, I know. I totally thought they were killing off Bronn.
I thought he's going down again, and he survives. And then, of course, while all this is going on, that's when Tyrion comes up the hill and watches the destruction of the Tyrion.
And that's when they say, the DOTHRAKI's like,
your people can't fight.
Your people can't fight. You're just watching them run away.
Yeah.
Run away.
I mean, at that point, like...
And then all of a sudden, it gets real somber, and you see Jaime just looking around at all the destruction there.
Yeah, so there's a spear sticking out of the ground.
And then he sees her standing there trying to get the
spear out
of him.
Dragos.
And he's like, fuck it, we're gonna do this.
You hear Tyrion, it's like, don't do it, you fucking idiot.
I know, you fucking idiot. Run away,
flee,
you idiot,
fucking
flee.
Idiot.
Yeah, and he just keeps going and going and going, and then you see
Tyrion, you fucking idiot.
I know,
you fucking idiot.
And right when he gets ready to go back, all of a sudden you see the dragon head come back, and you can see him breathing in, and you're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
And he goes, and right as you see it, and then you see Bronn come out the side, just.
It's either
tackle him in the water.
Now it's either Bronn. I don't think it's Bronn. I think it's Dickon.
Really?
Yeah.
Dickon saved the day.
I think so. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think he saved him the first time, but because it is the other one because he sees the white horse and he gets on that white horse.
Does he?
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch.
When he jumps off of the scorpion, or whatever, he sees the white horse there.
Okay.
So he jumps on the white horse and he runs over to save Jaime because Jaime's going to get the
I rewatched that last scene of him falling into the water, and it looked like the other person was wearing a full set of armor.
But then it didn't make any sense to me. Like, why is Jaime falling?
Because of the armor, and he's been, knocked into the water. I think it was just a good way to close the episode out. I think he's either going to come up, or Bronn, or somebody's going to bring him to the surface.
Yeah. Though I do love
there's a prisoner of Dany again. It'll be a prisoner again, essentially.
It could be a very good likelihood he becomes prisoner again, he's captured. Mm-hmm. But there's a funny meme of just like, after he's knocked in the water, then you see the Momoa as Aquaman, just like in the water. Just like, oh no, you didn't survive at all.
Drago comes out of the water.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But man, talk about, holy shit, talk about another. Just when you think they can't make a better fight scene, I thought Battle of the Bastards was.
I actually still like Battle of the Bastards better.
This
is really good, though.
Pretty damn good.
This is pretty close.
I like this better than Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards felt more like a war, like an old medieval war scene. You know what I mean? Like it felt realistic and everything else.
Yeah.
This felt more like a fantasy.
This is what you
Final Fantasy kind of like battle of dragons and people and
this is what you wanted out of the World of Warcraft movie.
Yes. Or you know, if you ever rolled dice for D&D, or if you ever played with a toy dragon as a kid, this is what you envisioned.
No, this is a great fucking scene.
No, it was great. I even liked how they had the when Tyrion's looking on and you just see a two horses with a white carriage on fire behind it.
Yeah.
People walking around on fire. I was just like, fucking A, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucking A, what about when the Dothraki took off the
horse's leg?
The horse's leg. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like we've seen horses get maimed or whatever and they fall down, but nothing like he completely took off that horse's leg.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
like
Peter's
Dothraki have those like
on
curved swords. That might actually be like it's meant to actually do something like that.
The actor that plays Bronn is getting criticism on Facebook and Twitter and stuff
from Pet Peter
backlash because of what he did to the dragon.
To the dragon?
Yes.
Are you kidding
me? He goes. Everyone does realize it's not real, right?
I don't know. Are they just fucking with him?
I don't know because they
have to just be fucking with him.
I was reading the article and they're like people are backlashing because he attacked the dragon and stuff, and it's like.
Oh, I can't imagine that's real.
I don't know.
Like, that's just people fucking with them.
You know, the last thing I'll say about this is we knew this was coming, and we've known it's been coming for 6 years now, and this beat my expectations of what I thought it was going to be.
This is much better than I was expecting it.
You know, and it's just really just a small battle. It's not like a huge battle even.
Yeah, it's actually kind of just a small skirmish, really.
Yeah, really. And so if they can do this with a skirmish, Jesus, what's going to happen when if they decide to fry King's Landing or they...
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like, it's interesting watching this. I mean, like...
Seeing all three
even looking back
to
the previous seasons where you're like, wow, Battle of the Blackwater was a really cool battle scene.
Yeah.
And it still is. It still holds up. But, like, holy fuck, did they take that up to, like, fucking 20, didn't they?
Dude, they went to 11, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, this I think what put this over the edge for me was the fact that not only did we get, you know, the view from, like, Jaime...
Mm-hmm.
Or the view from the Dothraki, or you know the view down the line so you can see him. But you got the view from the dragon.
Yeah.
And I think that's what set over the top was you felt like you were riding the dragon as it come through and breathed the fire down the thing, and that's what set this battle off. I think.
Well, yeah, because you know when you hear her say you hear her say Dracarys, and you see it coming out. It's like, oh my god, it's just freaking awesome. Loved. I don't know. I let's just get the grades. I'm sure we're all going to be on the same page. Brian, what's your grade?
Oh, it was definitely an A+.
A+.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, same here. Couldn't get any better. I don't think they could have done this episode any better. The other thing, and I don't know, I'll have to double check this. I put in only 51 minutes long. I think that was the last episode, but this one may have only been 51 as well. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Either way, wow, fantastic episode. Game of Thrones season 7 just blowing us away, and I can't believe there's now 3 episodes left this season.
Yeah.
So 10 total to wrap this whole thing up. I don't know how they're going to do it in 10 hours. I really don't.
I don't know, man. I guess we're halfway there.
I'm almost thinking that they're going to have a couple 2-hour episodes next season or something.
Hear that?
They were.
To end it?
Yeah. They said like the last... they said... I can't remember how many they said, but they did say some of them were going to be 2 hours.
It had to be. It has to be. I mean,
like
there's
just the last 2 episodes are going to be like just full movies at that point.
We got to finish this war, and then we have to go to the war.
The White Walkers.
Yeah, so, wow. All right, well, this has been a really great podcast. Real quick, where can you find 4 Midwest Guys? It's real easy, guys. Go to the website. We have a website for the number 4 MidwestGuys.com. Again, that's the number 4 MidwestGuys.com. One more time, the number 4 MidwestGuys.com. There you can find links to our Podbean, links to our Twitter, to our Facebook, to our help me out, guys. YouTube, as well as the big one that everybody uses for Apple. I don't have Apple.
iTunes.
iTunes, yes, thank you. Yeah, I know. I can remember it for some reason. Anyway, all the links are there for us to follow. Also, all the podcasts are there. If you like, and it's categorized. It's also on the main website. It's in chronological order as we release them. However, if you want to listen to just this particular podcast, The Night's Watch, or John and Stephanie's spin-off podcast, The House of Zanardelli, you just click those in particular links at the top, and you can listen to just those. It's all one-stop shop. The number 4, MidwestGuys.com. So please go there and check us out and let us know how we're doing. You can comment on each and every podcast. There's a comment field to leave comments for us, and let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, or to give us ideas for shows if you want to see us do.
Yeah.
Or spin-off shows for the Game of Thrones if you want to see us follow a certain group or whatever.
Or a certain character, even, maybe.
Anything you want. We're open to suggestions.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Brian, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back, man.
Yeah, welcome back. And Aaron, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
And this is B. Willie saying we will catch you next time.